Some facts about Masjid al-Nabawi. It was the second mosque built by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Medina, after Masjid Quba. Masjid al-Nabawi is the second largest mosque after Masjid al-Haram Makkah. The mosque was built by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in 1 Hijri after his arrival in Medina. Riding a camel called Kaswa, he arrived at the place where the mosque was built, which was being used as a burial ground. Refusing to accept the land as a gift from the two orphans, Sahel and Suhail, who owned the land, he bought the land, which was paid for by Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. Masjid al-Nabawi took 7 months to complete the construction of the mosque. It measured 30.5 meters length and 35.62 meters width. The roof, which was supported by palm trunks, was made of beaten clay and palm leaves. It was at a height of 3.60 meters. The 3 doors of the mosque were the Bab Rahmah to the south, Bab Jibril to the west, and Bab Nisa to the east. In 7 Hijri, after the Battle of Khaybar, the mosque was expanded to 47.32 meters, 155.2 feet, on each side, and 3 rows of columns were built beside the west wall, which became the place of praying. The mosque remained unaltered during the time of the first Rashidun Caliph Abu Bakr. After, expansion has done in the time of second Rashidun Caliph Umar ibn al-Khattab and third Rashidun Caliph Uthman ibn Affan. Time to time, mosque had been extended in the period of Umayyad Caliph al-Walid, 705 to 715 Hijri, Abbasid Caliph al-Mahdi, 775 to 785 Hijri, and Mamluk Sultan al-Ashraf Qasu al-Ghabri built a dome of stone over the Prophet's grave in 1476 Hijri. Later in 1817 Hijri, Mahmud II completed the construction of the purified residence al-Rawda on the southeast side of the mosque and covered with a new dome. The dome was painted green in 1837 Hijri and has been known as the Green Dome. The modern-day Masjid al-Nabawi is situated on a rectangular plot and is 2 stories tall. The Ottoman prayer hall, which is the oldest part of Masjid al-Nabawi, lies towards the south. It has a flat paved roof topped with 27 sliding domes on square bases. Holes pierced into the base of each dome illuminate the interior when the domes are closed. The sliding roof is closed during the afternoon prayer, Duhar, to protect the visitors. When the domes slide out on metal tracks to shade areas of the roof, they create light wells for the prayer hall. The courtyard of the Ottoman mosque is also shaded with umbrellas affixed to freestanding columns. The roof is accessed by stairs and escalators. The paved area around the mosque is also used for prayer, equipped with umbrella tents. This gold grill is the front part of the Rawda, the sacred chamber in which the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away and where he is buried. It also houses the graves of the first 2 caliphs of Islam, Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu and Umar radiyallahu anhu. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Whoever visits me after my death is like he who had visited me during my life." The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was buried in the house of Aisha radiyallahu anha, in whose house he was staying at the time of his death. In Muharram 11, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam developed a temperature which kept getting higher, and he became increasingly ill day by day. On Monday, 12 Rabi al-Awwal, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came out with a bandage tied around his head. That time Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu was leading the salah and moved backwards, but the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam motioned him to complete the prayer. Among the last advice the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave out was the importance of prayer and the treatment of slaves and servants. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "I leave with you two things. As long as you hold them tightly, you will never go astray. They are the book of Allah, the Quran, and my Sunnah." The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam fell ill and suffered for several days with fever, head pain, and weakness, and eventually passed away on the afternoon of Monday, 12 Rabi al-Awwal, 11 Hijri. The companions offered funeral prayers individually without an imam. The people said, "Bury him near the pulpit." Others said, "Bury him in Baqi." Then Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu came and said, "I heard the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, a prophet was never buried except at the place where he died." The area between the sacred chamber and the pulpit, mimbar, is known as the Jannah, that is Garden of Paradise. It is presently distinguished by a green carpet and is also referred to as Rawda. Abu Huraira radiyallahu anhu narrated that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Between my house and my pulpit lays a garden from the gardens of paradise, and my pulpit is upon my fountain, al-Kausar." The original size of Riyadhul Jannah is approximately 22 meters in length and 15 meters in width. Part of it is in the chamber of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. After the change in Qibla, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam offered salah near Aisha's column for a short period while facing towards the Kaaba. Later, he started leading salah at the spot where the Mihrab Nabawi is nowadays. Note that there was no mihrab at this spot during the period of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the four caliphs. May Allah grant us to see Prophet's Rawda and offer salah in Riyadhul Jannah. Thanks for watching this video. Please share with your friends or relatives to spread the information of Islam. Please subscribe to our channel, Islamic Virtual Tour.